Right. Since we're live, let's check on the feedback loop. Y'all ready to get busy with this one? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Frank Monday coming at you one more time. Live again, like Finnegan. If you've got a yen to expand your kin, let's get zen. Baby. Broadcasting to you from the central kingdom of the celestial dragon, Twilight Zone, Old Peking, far behind the bamboo firewall. Frank Monday, FM radio. Wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you are receiving this message, I hope you are doing well, Wayfarer, Wizard, Warrior, Wanderer, and Wildcat alike. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like and subscribe, guys. Welcome to the temple. We got about an hour before the old Jack Talcott show starts. So let's do a little good magic. We'll read a little I am now. I got up early. It's 4:40 a.m. in Old Peking. I got up a little early, so make it happen. I got to bed early last night. Yeah, the wife and kids are out of the house. When the cat's away, the wife will play. We'll go ahead and launch into this invitation to grab myself black magic and get busy. Busyness. That's the way you lay it down. That's the way you make it happen. Hey, free gift from God is here. Anyway, tune in and chat on this one with me. More than welcome, beloved. Hey, wait a good goddamn minute. There he is. Hey, that kind of looks like me, huh? It's almost like I'm looking in a mirror with old Israel Ragardi. I gotta go back to this music, that old daydreaming music. Can appreciate that. Got to check out my banners here. 100-day challenge is over, guys. About to start another one. I'm not going to publicize it anymore, though, because I got very little response. So if you want to take part in the 100-day challenge, you got to check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. Put a little something in the tip jar, guys. Make it happen. I appreciate y'all, good-looking, sexy people, for looking out for old Frank Money. Hit that like and subscribe. Do it now. Waste no time. Here it is. Join me in prayer, beloved.
Invocation of Thoth. Procul, O Procul esti profani, or lasti ompeda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemes as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dusk, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who company the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of wrong, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance wherein Ptah floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I raise up flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountains, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Kepha, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of Ptah when he created his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth hath ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the vast one may be obedient unto me.
So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. Hail unto thee who art Ra in thy rising, even unto thee who art Ra in thy strength, who travellest over the heavens at the rising of the sun. Tahuti standeth in his splendour at the prow, and Ra-Hor abideth at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of the night. Welcome back, Wayfarer. I hope you are doing well. Trying to get into my best Israel Regardia voice there. I think I got it pretty much ironed out. I've been interacting with the old Israel Regardi, Sir Francis Israel Regardi of the Golden Dawn. I've been interacting with his material for, I don't know, going on 40 years now, over 40 years, I guess. Quite a while. I wrote my own little prayer, too. It goes a little something like this. Greetings, Wayfarer, and welcome back. By the light of the North Star, our paths cross on a grand and mysterious adventure towards spiritual cultivation. The universal concourse of all souls in reunion with Source is our destination. From the depths of the Fathomless Cavern to the Spectral Abodes of the Underdark, through the chambers of endless echoes and the Labyrinth of Shattered Mirrors, up the Ladder of Ascent to the very ledge of Revelation, onward and upward, beyond Dreamland, to the Celestial Realm and the Timeless Homeland. Join me on the fool's journey from a naive awareness to the heights of spiritual mastery. Your friend and well-wisher, Frank Monday. Yeah, join me. I keep saying it over and over and over again, but, internet tourists out there just wandering through, they seldom take up the banner or lead up the charge with old Frank Monday here on FM radio. But, we got to get it done irregardless of what the Wayfarers are up to. Welcome back, Voy. Good to see you again, sir. Voy. You have changed your name, dear Voy. Why have you done this? It makes me wonder if it's even really you, man, or someone masquerading as you. Voy is in the chitter chat box. Good to see you again in the chitter chat box, Voy. Free gift from God 666 is also in the chitter chatter box. Guys, while you're in the chitter chatter box, make sure you keep it squeaky clean. You can pick up a 5-pound box of wishy-washy dish soap at Thompson's 5 and Dime. Get a 20% discount off the $4.99 original price of wishy-washy dish soap. Comes with a complimentary wishy-washy dishcloth. Make sure you get it done. Tell them Frank Monday sent you. Because I keep calling you Zombie. Zmoby. I call you not Zmoby. Yeah, I don't think that's me, man. Maybe you got me confused with some other Frank Monday. There's a couple of them out there. So I've got I and Thou. I'm gonna try and read it. If you guys want to click the link, go ahead and do so. Do so now, and I will make space for select members of the community. Not everyone is entitled, all right? I am on page 64 of I and Thou by Martin Buber. We're getting into Buber's stuff, and I'll remind you, Martin Buber is a Buber, best known for his revival of Hasidism, a mystical movement that swept Eastern European Jewry in the 18th and 19th centuries. Out of this interest evolved his dialogical of I and Thou philosophy. Professor Buber taught philosophy from 1938 to 1951 at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. So we have a J-Dog here, as some people like to refer to us. But, do whatever you want to do. I ain't going to hold it against you. I might if it's hard, right? Then I might, in fact, hold it against you. So I'm on page 64, guys, in the next stanza here. This essential twofoldedness, and now let's try to review a bit and see. We'll recidivate just briefly. What twofoldedness is he talking about? The twofoldedness of I and Thou and end of elapsed time. Let's see. The present, not that which is like a point and merely designates whatever our thoughts may posit at the end of elapsed time. The fiction of the fixed lapse, but the actual and fulfilled present exists only insofar as presentness, encounter, and relation exist. Only as the you becomes present, does presence come into being. It's an interesting statement, right? So without another you, without a you, without a sounding board, without a feedback loop, as it were, then there is no presence, right? There's just I. But with I and Thou, we can get it done, all right? In other words, insofar as a human being makes do with the things that he experiences and uses, he lives in the past. And as his moment has no present, he has nothing but objects consist in having been. Presence is not what is evanescent, and passes by what confronts us. Let me read that again. Sorry, readers aside. Presence is not what is evanescent and passes, but what confronts us, waiting and enduring. And the object is not duration, but standing, ceasing, breaking off, becoming rigid, standing out, the lack of relation and the lack of presence. What is essential is lived in the present. Objects are in the past. Yeah, it's good magic. I was just contemplating this as I got ready too. And I thought about the actual amount of space I use as a broadcaster, right? Of course, I've got the laptop here to my left. I've got my feedback loop window open in front of me. And then I've got these other accoutrements at the desk, right? I've got a memento mori. I've got some pens, some notepads, and so on. All these things on top of my desk. But the actual realm of the present is just my voice, my interaction with my physical workshop, my human body, and this little Razer microphone that I'm looking down on right now. And whenever I actually grab it, I'm reaching back into the past to hold on to it. But it's that essential, ephemeral, everlasting, well, ephemeral, it's not ephemeral then, is it? It's an ephemeral state of acknowledging it. But it's that everlasting, timeless moment that we're in is where I have to project from. And so if I think about these accoutrements around me, then I pull myself back into the past. But if I emerge, as he called it a moment ago, and welcome, Apple, good to see you again, amigo. We also have Dominique does Signy 999 in the chitter chatter box. And I remind you to keep it squeaky clean in the chatter box, everyone. So what's essential is lived in the present. Objects are in the past. And so as you reach out for these objects, you're reaching back to past manifestations and just, kind of hoping that they're going to be where you left them last, like this dark cup of black magic. Good God, that Arabica, man. 100%. Something else. Out of Colombia. You know what else comes out of Colombia? Nose candy. Good stuff, man. If you can get it. So we're moving into the next stanza now. So that was just a bit of recidivation. Welcome to the chat. Peace. I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. You're appreciated for sure. Blessings. Blessings, everyone. We are, in fact, reading Martin Buber's I and Thou. It's a philosophy of finding God amongst ourselves, right? We will maybe, as a backup, have a look at Rudolf Steiner's The Dead Are Among Us, or The Dead Are With Us. And it'll add to the vibrancy of being in the present moment, right? So he goes on to talk about this essential twofoldedness cannot be overcome by invoking a world of ideas as a third element that might transcend this opposition. For I speak only of the actual human being, of you and me, of our life and our world, not of any I in itself, and not of any being in itself, but for an actual human being. The real boundary also runs across the world of ideas. So this quintessential separation by the veil, as it were, I believe, right? And getting into that space of being here now in the present and interacting with other human beings, it's often distracted by these accoutrements of life, right? These things that are outstanding from the past, the ground upon which you stand, the clothes on your body, the things in your pocket, right? The ideas in your mind. Those all kind of crop up and try to get in the way of interacting with this future expression, this future expansion of the energy. To be sure, some men who in the world of things make do with experiencing and using have constructed for themselves an index, an idea index or superstructure in which they find refuge and reassurance in the face of intimations of nothingness. Yeah, that's a big part of what all structured philosophy and religion really is, right? It's this kind of psychological pacifier or trying to assuage the ego that there really is something here, right? There's all these things on my desk, you know. I got a little tin of Copenhagen tobacco, right? Really reaching back into the past for this one. I bought a roll of tins of Copenhagen snuff, very good tobacco, very high quality from the United States of America. I bought it like back in 2021, and so now it's 2025. So really reaching back into the past for that one. I was in Denver, Colorado, and I remember the experience quite vividly because the gal at the counter asked for my ID. And I'm like, I got gray hair. Why you want my ID? What you want my ID for? And she's like, we have to card everybody that looks under 50. I'm like, I'm actually, at the time I was 50 or 50. Yeah, 50. I think I just turned 50. And I'm like, I am 50. And she's like, yeah, well, you got to have a state certified ID to buy tobacco products there, son. I was like, good God, you fucking, you real Karen, right? Sticking to the letter of the law rather than the spirit of the thing. I guess she wanted to scan, and she scanned it. She probably wanted to scan my ID, see if I had any warrants out. You know, the corporations are working in collusion with the government to keep an eye on everybody. Arpol, yes, I and thou art I, no ID needed. Right? I mean, come on. What a real fucking work. What a real piece of work. Yeah. They're going to do what they're going to do, you know? Ain't nothing you can do about that. Okay. So I left off with the idea annex, right? The Kabbalah. A lot of people rally against Kabbalah, but they do not know that Frank Monday studies no ordinary Kabbalah, but in fact the Kabbalah of wizardry, which is a much different thing from the one of Judaism. Okay, so as the threshold they take off, at the threshold they take off the clothes of the ugly weekday, shroud themselves in clean garments, and feel restored as they contemplate primal being, or what ought to be, something in which their life has no share. It may also make them feel good to proclaim it. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with him that our life has no share in the primal being or what ought to be the realm of ideas. I think that we do, in fact. We're kind of living it out. We're a living workshop of God's divine grace. If not, then what, right? Okay, so he goes on another paragraph here. Good God, this guy goes on at length, right? An entire book, like 200 pages of just going on and on and on, right? But the humanity that some imagine or postulate and advertise has nothing in common with the bodily humanity to which a human being can truly say you. Yeah, maybe. The noblest fiction is a fetish. The most sublime fictitious sentiment is a vice. The ideas are just as little enthroned above our heads as they reside inside them. They walk among us and step up to us. Pitiful are those who leave the basic word unspoken, but wretched are those who instead of that address the ideas with a concept or a slogan as if it were their name. He's very emphatic here. In fact, he put an exclamation point at the end of that sentence. Guys, I would recommend that you get the book for yourself. I found a lot of life in it. It's a new translation with a prologue and notes by Walter Kaufmann, a German. So we're dealing with some German Jews here, right? Martin Buber, born in Vienna, in fact, in 1878, studied philosophy and art at the University of Vienna, Zurich, and Berlin. So he was a contemporary with old Mustache Man, right? Who used to be a young mustache man at the time. Maybe they were colleagues. I guess he probably had to flee Germany when all that old rabble rousing and ruckus went down. But I don't know, man. Maybe they've misportrayed history and this here, though, I'm holding physical proof of the fact that the German Jews weren't as put upon as they may revisionists may have us believe. Okay, we're getting into the next stanza, guys. I reiterate that I have dropped the link in the chitter chatter box. If you can see it there, Wayfarer, click it and join me. If not, we're just gonna wait until old Chats with Jack goes live over at Talcadia. Then we're gonna get on out of here, get on with our day. So we got about another 30 minutes, probably, guys. 30 to 40 minutes. Here, chitter chatting in the old chatter box with you, Frank Monday, coming at you one time. I'm trying to see if I can. Ooh, that didn't work. I'm trying to see if I can pin the link from my phone. It doesn't seem that I can. Weird. Oh, I can. Nice. Nice. That's really nice, guys. You might not know this, but I just figured something out. I pinned a link. Ooh, I hate those P's, how those P's pop against the microphone. I'm sure you don't like it either. I try to maintain my best radio voice and avoid the dreaded P word. And when I do, I try to turn away from the mic, but it is what it is, you know. Here we go. Next stanza, guys. That direct relationship involve some action on what confronts us. Fuck. I lost the thread of it somehow. That direct relationships involve some action on what confronts us becomes clear in one of three examples. And there's a note here on the phrase involve some action on. It says its original German was einwirken am. And not Martin Buber, the transliterator, Walter Kaufmann, he says that this seems to be an odd bit of locution, which I'll sit with the text a little later on and see if I can come up with some commentary for the comment box down at the bottom of the video. I remind you guys to do the thing, man. Hit the button, do the thing, like and subscribe, all that happy horse shit that makes YouTube's algobots bark like Pavlov's dog. Because aren't we all just barking for the machine, man? Get over there to buymeacoffee.com. Frank Monday, pull something in the tip jar, right? Begging shekels online. They help put the lead in my pencil, the pep in my step, and the jelly in my donut. Don't be squeezing all the jelly out of my donut. Get your own damn donut. Right? Okay. So the essential deed of art determines the process whereby the form becomes a work. That which confronts me is fulfilled through the encounter through which it enters into the world of things in order to remain incessantly effective, incessantly it, but also infinitely able to become again a you with a capital Y. Enchanting and inspiring, it becomes incarnate out of the flood of spaceless and timeless presence. It rises to the shore of continued existence. Ah, that's kind of a beautiful line there, man. I like that. Do you ever embrace it? Do you ever embrace the I am thou, thou art I? Right? I'm sure you do from time to time, but we all so oftentimes seem to get distracted from the reality of the thing with all of these other things happening, right? I've really been embracing it recently. Like you guys might not know this, but I'm a married man. Been married 23, going on 24 years now, and I got just a couple of chillins. I got a girl that's in college now, and I got a boy that's in his last couple of years of high school. But I heard a podcast recently talking about that famous remote viewer from times of antiquity that worked with the U.S. Army back in the day. The men who stare at goats. I'm sure you're familiar with it. And one of the things he came up with, his name will come to me here in a moment. It's on the tip of my tongue. But one of the things he came up with is he encouraged the soldiers to have like a love-centered awareness. And one of their overarching goals was to preserve human life and not kill, right? He's teaching soldiers this. And as a part of that regimen of daily practice, he encouraged the soldiers all to hug each other 3 times a day. So they would have, like, I guess, love fests, right? And not gay, no homo, no go, right? But they would just hug each other with heart-centered awareness once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening. And I've been trying to do that with my beloved, my kids, my wife and shit. And it really has, like, improved the everything in life. Like, I take moments now, I break away from the phone a lot more often and, like, engage directly with people and, like, look at them and not with judgment but with love, and send them out that radiant, divine, heart-centered energy. And just, like, I've learned, like, just from that simple act within the last couple of weeks of hugging my kids 3 times a day and my wife, and getting a little bit closer with my colleagues and stuff, and, you know, maybe reaching out for a handshake, give Sam the glad hand, Dan, right? It's really like my hair is starting to look more lustrous, right? My skin tone has taken on a new gloss and shine, and I'm really feeling more and more alive. And so I think there's really something to this I and thou philosophy, guys. You might look into it. It's up to you, you know. It's something you might consider. A little more love for your fellow man. I and thou, Martin Buber. Let's continue with a little bit of this, man. This is deep material. It requires patience and contemplation and reflection in order for it to become clear. It becomes incarnate out of the flood of spaceless and timeless presence. It rises to the shore of continued existence. Less clear is the element of action, he writes, in the relation to a human you. The essential act that here establishes directness is usually understood as a feeling, and thus misunderstood. Feelings accompany the metaphysical and metaphysical fact of love, but they do not constitute it, and the feelings that accompany it can be very different. Jesus' feeling for the possessed man is different from his feeling for the beloved disciple, but the love is one. Feelings one has, love occurs. Feelings dwell in man, but man dwells in his love. This is no metaphor, but actuality. Love does not cling to an I, as if the you were merely its content or object. It is between I and you. You see that? That's good magic right there. I agree wholeheartedly. I emphatically concur that is definitely so. Like, there is, when I go to get that hug from my son or whatever, there is no longer an I and thou. There is just the love and the expression of this that heart-centered love, right? Platonic, of course, right? But a little bit affectionate. I mean, because he is my son. And so he pointed that out too. He said that Jesus, the Father loves the Son, and the Son loves the Father, right? That Jesus and his and he's talking about the feelings here and them being distinguished as opposed to the love. He says Jesus's feeling for the possessed man is different from his feeling for the beloved disciple, but the love is one. The feeling one has, love occurs. Feelings one have, love occurs. Feelings dwell in man, but man dwells in his love. This is no metaphor, but actuality. Love does not cling to an I, as if the you were merely its content or object. It is between I and you. Whoever does not know this with his being, does not know love, even if he should ascribe to it the feelings that he lives through, experiences, enjoys, and expresses. Love is a cosmic force. Now, do you guys agree? Do you concur? Do you find that to be true? Like, is love a cosmic force? The great beast Aleister Crowley wrote that love is the law and love under will is to do what thou wilt, and that's the expression of the entirety of law. And law, he meant by law the Tao, or the way to truth, right? Maybe that might be an obfuscation of what he was saying there, and I may have deviated somewhat and gone on a tangent. And with that tangent in mind, I'm going to take my angel card from the Golden Aut Nuevo Tarot, and I'm going to place it there as a marker, as a bookmark in the book I and Thou. And I'm going to have to address a persistent issue that's arising at this time, Wayfarer. But I will keep you entertained with the narcotic manuscripts until I can return. So I must take a 2 to 3 minute break, a brief break. Let's see, what have I got here? 2 to 3 minutes. I'll just randomly click on one of Israel Regardi's clips and see what it's got for us. Let me make sure it's going to load up correctly. Let's see here. Is that working? Can you hear that? I don't know if I can even hear it. Where's the volume? What is this clip? Where did it come from? Why is there no sound? Why is there no sound, Wayfarer? What has happened to my internet? Are we stalled out? Looks like we might be stalled out, guys.
Don't criticize or reject.
Oh, okay. God, there's such lag on my computer right now. Let's see if this is gonna work. I hope so, because I need to take about a 2 to 3 minute breather. What the actual fuck? Are you serious?
Above all, make no judgments about what you observe.
I think we're good.
Merely notice. Don't criticize or reject any of these sensations. They may be comfortable or uncomfortable, pleasurable or otherwise, but they are your own. Try to become keenly aware of all the sensations without trying to ignore them or to change them. Be aware of everything that is going on inside. This is the process, eventually leading to self-realization, the integration of the whole man. Sensations in different parts of the body will come and go. Watch them. Verbalize and study what you do feel. Let your mind roam freely without becoming fixated on any one part of your body. Make no judgments about what you observe. Make no effort to separate your mind, your awareness, from these bodily sensations. There may be a great temptation to think of something else to distract your mind from discomfort. Don't succumb to this. Just watch and observe. Concentrate only on what we are doing, watching and observing our body sensations. Don't criticize or reject any of the different sensations, comfortable or uncomfortable, pleasurable or otherwise. They are your own. Accept them just as they are. You do nothing else but merely observe the rise and fall of sensation without attempting to modify whatever may occur. This practice heightens the function that is called self-recollection, mindfulness, and self-awareness. Experience what is going on inside your body. Become aware of what is happening. Observe the rise and fall of bodily and muscular sensations. Don't attempt to modify whatever sensory phenomena may occur.
Yeah, indeed. It's kind of an advanced path working. I hadn't really planned it for right now, so I'm going to go ahead and drop it. The reason I popped that up was because something came up real quick that I had to address here at the apartment, and yeah, well, it's taken care of, so we're back, and I'm just waiting for chats with Jack to get started. That mic seems a little bit overly sensitive. Am I wrong in thinking that? Yeah, maybe it's okay if I just don't touch it. Don't fucking rattle back and forth too much in my chair. Yeah, it sounds all right. Okay. Good magic, everyone. We're going to continue with I and Thou by Martin Buber. We're reading Booby's book until Frank, not Frank Monday, until Chats with Jack gets started, guys. So let me know when that goes live. That way we can finish up here and head over there and hang out with old Jack Talcott. Relation is reciprocity. My you acts on me as I act on it. Our students teach us, our works form us. The wicked become a revelation when they are touched by the sacred basic word. How are we educated by children, by animals? Inscrutably involved, we live in the currents of universal reciprocity. So I think we accidentally jumped ahead a little bit. Yeah, there's quite a few footnotes on the last stanza, and that one looks like a summation of what we had just read, or what we should have read prior to that. So once again, I'm going to recidivate a little bit, guys. I am on page 65, and it's quite a thing to try to get into this, but I'm trying to get into it with you guys. So we'll make it happen, and we'll tie a nice bow on this here in the last 10 minutes of the transmission. And so page 65 of I and Thou, the bottom stanza, that direct relationships involve some action on what confronts us becomes clear in one of three examples. The essential deed of art determines the process whereby the form becomes a work. That which confronts me is fulfilled through the encounter, through which it enters into in the world of things in order to remain incessantly effective, incessantly it, but also infinitely able to become again a you, enchanting and inspiring. It becomes incarnate out of the flood of spaceless and timeless presence. It rises to the shore. Out of the flood of spaceless and timeless presence, it rises to the shore of continued existence. That's good magic right there. I just realized that my wife put a couple of family pictures up on the headboard there. So that's a thing, huh? I'm going to leave it there, guys, because it is what it is. I hope y'all good-looking, sexy people are doing all right out in Happy Land. Shabbat Shalom. It is Friday, December 5th, here in Twilight Zone, Old Peking. I'm wishing you well, a happy Christmas season, right? All of December is Christmas for me, right? Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible, he who was, is, and shall be. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Send us one of your divine spiritual agents, our holy guardian angel, to protect and guide us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere and the cleansing wind to disperse all negativity and endless human opinion. Teach us those secret things which we must know for the completion of the great work and the glory of thine ineffable name, Adonai. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. Thank you for stopping by, everyone. Your Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, Frater Francis Lunis Aristeas of the Ordo Temple Astarte, wishing you a beloved day. Please hit the like button, do the old thing that makes them bark, ruff, 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 and check me out at buymeacoffee.com/I'm not a criminal. I love y'all good looking sexy people, and until next time, keep doing good magic. I will see you in the abodes of the future. Bye for now.